Firearms Friday, right here on your home for Common Sense Radio, the Michael Duke Show on the Northern Lights Broadcasting Network. Thanks for joining us. Special Firearms Friday edition today. We're jumping right into it. We're not stopping. Of course, Firearms Friday brought to you every day by Action Security, the folks at Auto Trim Design and Red's Trading Post in Twin Falls, Idaho. Our special guest today, coming up, we've got on the telephone from an undisclosed location down there in Texas where he constantly fights that overbearing thing that we like to call Fedzilla, is my brother in spirit. Ted Nugent joins us on the program. Hello there, sir.
Greetings. Actually, I'm calling from the sacred swamps of Michigan, Michael, and I bring a great freedom celebration to the last frontier blood brothers up there in the great state of Alaska.
Well, we like to call you the god of the black rifle, and it's good to have you here with us.
Yes, indeed. I'm surrounded by them right now, I want you to know. So if there's a ballistic erection across the phone lines,
I got to tell you, it's all good stuff. And joining us also, you hear the dulcet tones across the radio. Governor Sarah Palin is in the studio with us as well. Governor, thanks for coming in and joining us.
Hey, thank you so much, Michael. And you look so handsome in the tie. You look good. I promised you that I would find a reason to be here on a Friday, didn't I?
You did.
Yes.
Now, Sarah Palin, of course, is the only person I've ever allowed to break the Firearms Friday rule. Every Friday, we dedicate the whole 2 hours to guns and gun goodness, and she's actually the only person on earth that's been allowed to come in and break that as a guest. So, but we finally got her in here on a Friday, so it's all good stuff. Now, of course, our old Uncle Ted there is the warrior extraordinaire when it comes to firearms rights. And, of course, he's out there stoking the fires of freedom and telling us what's going on. What's happening in your neck of the woods today, sir?
Well, my brother and his son and his buddy and my daughter and all the dogs are surrounding the grill as we are firing up some charcoal, cooking the sacred Prince of Wales Alaska black bear backstraps on behalf of our token of appreciation to the good Governor Sarah Palin and her family. So God bless you, Governor.
That's
thank
awesome.
you. That's awesome.
Now, Governor, you just signed a couple of pieces of legislation that, although minor in scope, really help continue to solidify our position with the Second Amendment. The right to keep and bear arms across all 50 states. You had signed the bill that allowed for the national concealed carry bill that allows reciprocity in every state. You signed the expiration bill on the Alaska firearms concealed carry bill. Lots of great stuff. The Second Amendment is near and dear to your heart.
It is, and it was great to put my stamp of approval today to have that opportunity when our lawmakers worked hard to make sure this bill and these resolutions saw the light of day. We were here today to give final approval to bills and resolutions that safeguard our rights, our Second Amendment rights. Pretty simple, but amazing that Congress forgets that these are rights that cannot be infringed, and we have to do this bureaucratic paperwork to get them to listen to us. Well, so be it. Our voice is heard, and very proud to get to sign these today.
It's fun stuff, and of course, again, safeguarding our rights. There, Ted here, he has written a book, which I just recently finished, phenomenal book called Ted, White, and Blue. If you don't have a copy, run, do not walk out and pick one up for yourself. The Nugent Manifesto, talking about life, liberty, freedom, and the reason why we have those guns, right?
Well, Michael, you are sitting next to my hero, Governor Sarah Palin. You know the problem with the good governor, don't you? She's too logical.
Yeah.
She makes too much sense. It drives bureaucrats crazy, which is why I love her dearly. And if I may, I know I'm just a guitar player, and I not only authored and sang Wango Tango, but I actually believed it. Being that as it may, I would like to just make it perfectly clear that my bumper crop of logical crowbars this year are available to everybody. And here it is in a nutshell, my friends, and this is what the good Governor Sarah Palin is celebrating. Keep means it's mine, you can't have it. Bear means I've got some on me. Shall not be infringed is another way of saying, well, there's a colloquialism in Detroit I won't share with you right now, but another way of saying don't tread on me. So what Governor Palin has done, once again, is put the spotlight on the cockroaches who are out, are dedicated. The Obama administration overall, and way too many bureaucrats out there, are giddy to infringe upon us. And here is the bottom line. The Ted Kennedys of the world have their dream, and it's gun-free zones. And the evidence is inescapable that the most innocent lives ever lost occur in gun-free zones because evil loves forced, unarmed helplessness.
Absolutely.
So Governor Sarah Palin has wielded a mighty crowbar of logic, and those of us that cherish the right to life, cherish our gift of life, and certainly our God-given individual gift guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution and Bill of Rights to defend that gift of life. So, Sarah Palin, Godspeed, my dear.
Hey, thank you so much. And up here, too, Ted, you are just this heroic status that you are. It was great to have you up here more than once. Every time that we hear you sneaking in, we get all excited knowing you're in our midst.
Well, Governor, Michael, I've come up to Alaska every year as a sacred ritual since 1977. And for many years now, we've come to the Prince of Wales and jumped off the Ketchikan over by Craig and hunted the mighty black bears and caught those fantastic seafood morsels. So I'd like to think, if I may be so bold, that I'm like an official non-resident commando of Alaska, because I will always come back to Alaska because I feel right at home there.
An adoptive son, I think, is what we could say. So that's good.
Thank you.
You make some great points about what's going on in the national level with the Second Amendment. Because a lot of naysayers out there in Fairbanks, saying, well, Second Amendment, it's really not under pressure. Nothing's really happening, blah, blah, blah. On the surface of it, it may not be happening overtly. I mean, I think Obama may have understood, and some of the Democrats in Congress may understand, that this is it's an untasty topic. They don't want to try and fight it on the frontal assault. So they're going behind the scenes. They're doing things like they're putting a demand on ammunition so that we can't armor. I mean, a gun without any bullets is a glorified club. Or they're doing things like this new SIFTA, which is the Central American Free Trade, or not the Free Trade, but the Firearms Trafficking Act that the president referenced back when he went to Mexico, saying, we'll get this through, which would include, international licensing, international gun registration of the individual countries, which would include the United States. I mean, these backdoor tactics through treaties instead of having to go through Congress to take away our gun rights. And it's very subtle. These guys aren't stupid. They're very smooth. And that's how they're going to get us on this, is through subtlety, not through direct action, I think, at this time.
Let me interrupt, too, and let you know that what a lot of congressmen are doing is trying to take an easy, politically correct way out of this by saying, hey, let's let the states decide on some of these issues. Again, not understanding that our Constitution recognizes gun rights as an individual right, and it isn't up to a state to say yay or nay to a lot of these things. These are inherent. These are individual rights that are built into our Constitution.
And as much as Ted takes up, Ted is the hunting guy. I mean, this guy, he was inducted in the Bow Shooters Hall of Fame. I mean, he has got the top-rated show on the Outdoor Channel on the hunting. He's got the top-rated hunting show. I mean, he's all about hunting. But I think, Ted, even you would agree, it's not about hunting. It's about that individual right to bear the arms to protect us against, well, in the beginning, it was the two-legged critters, not the four-legged critters, right?
Well, clearly, this experiment in self-government is unique in mankind in the history of the world, and that is because brave, rugged individuals, very much like Alaskans, they saw the abandonment of quality of life, the refusal of quality of life under tyrants and dictators and despots and kings and emperors, and they weren't allowed to practice the religion of their choice. They weren't allowed to speak out. If you watch the movie The Patriot or William Wallace's escapades, those are not fiction movies. That's how the world operated, and men know in their heart and soul that God created us as individuals to be free, to pursue our dreams, our individual religion, and to defend ourselves and the right to keep and bear arms as individuals. So brave men and women left Europe and left the tyrants and the kings. They came to this country, and one of the first things they wrote down is that we get to practice the religion of our choice. We get to speak out. And closely after those main freedom celebrations was the right to defend ourselves, because people around the globe, prior to this experiment in self-government, were not allowed to protect themselves against the kings and the emperors.
Absolutely.
This is pivotal to the very concept of freedom, and without the right to keep and bear arms, you are not a citizen, you are a slave.
Well, you mentioned the gun-free zones, and on this show, we don't call them gun-free zones. We call them target-rich environments for the vermin. That's
well,
what they do.
Michael and Sarah, my name is Ted Nugent. I'm just a guitar player. But do you know that since 1971, I have never been in a gun-free zone because my presence guarantees it's no longer a gun-free zone.
And you know what? We advocate on this show. The motto is to go forth armed at all times. That protects you. It protects those around you. It protects the innocents. It proves justified against the guilty. I mean, this is what's going on in America. We see it in Anchorage here, our largest city. We're seeing again and again the rise of crime, the rise of murder, the rise of assaults is continuing to go up. This society is breeding this kind of apathy towards human life, and it's up to us as individuals, as believers in the Constitution, to step forth and take up that mantle of responsibility, that responsibility to go forth to protect yourselves, your family, your loved ones, and those innocents around you that have not taken that step yet to protect themselves.